Lisa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks. I couldn't test my microphone for some reason.
Okay.
Um, Lisa, as I came on,
Mm-hmm.
it says recording in progress. Do we want to record 15 minutes of us?
Turn my sound up. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to tonight's ANC 34G meeting. It's 6:30. Call the meeting to order. And we will start our meeting with commissioner introductions, going from my left to the right, starting with Commissioner Nagy.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Liz Nagy. I'm Commissioner in SMD 07. And that runs from Military down to Chevy Chase Parkway, over on the east to Nevada, and on the west to Reno Road. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Commissioner Lisa Gore. I represent Single Member District 01. That's all of Hawthorne and portions of Barnaby Woods, basically from Pinehurst Circle, Tennyson on down, back over to Beach, and back on around towards Oregon. Thanks for coming tonight. Commissioner Gosselin?
Yeah, I'm Peter Gosselin. I represent District 6, which is largely the west side of Connecticut, back to Friendship Heights, with the peninsula to the east. Welcome to our first meeting of 2026.
Commissioner Phinizy?
My name is Laura Phinizy. I represent SMD 04. That's roughly between Utah Avenue on the east, Broad Branch Road on the west, Western Avenue on the north, and McKinley on the south. It includes Lafayette, Point Park, and Lafayette Elementary School. Thanks.
Commissioner Sherman?
Hi, everyone. Bruce Sherman. I'm the commissioner in Single Member District 02, which incorporates St. John's College High School, Knollwood, the new Murray Barrett Fields, that part of Chevy Chase.
Commissioner Grunewald?
Good evening. I'm Carol Grunewald. I'm the commissioner for SMD 03, which is bounded by Utah Avenue to the northeast, 27th Street to the east, Broad Branch to the south and to the west, McKinley on the north, then it jogs north and east along Nebraska, where it rejoins Utah Avenue. Thank you for coming.
Commissioner Simmons?
Hi, Commissioner Simmons. My apologies, I'm not on camera right now. I am the commissioner for the east side of Connecticut, from Legation all the way down to Western, all the way back to Broad Branch, which is the divider between Ward 3 and 4. And my single member district also includes the library and community center.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. Got a lot of Peter and Laura, if you guys could admit, we got a lot of folks still coming in on the agenda.
Crazy here.
Huh?
I'm admitting like crazy. I'm
I
clicking.
know it's a lot of folks popping in. So in terms of the meeting procedures, they're the same as with our other meetings. We are virtual tonight. We'd ask that everyone make sure that you stay muted until you are recognized by the chair. If you have a question that you want to raise at any point during the meeting, please use the raise your hand function. Community members have 2 minutes to speak with a follow-up, as well as commissioners. Those rules can be changed by the chair if need be, and we ask that everybody be respectful. One of the things that we'll be doing at the top of the agenda in a few minutes is election of officers. So I would ask everybody to make sure, definitely during that portion, to stay muted. Going forward, any changes to the agenda, commissioners?
Yeah, I've got several proposed changes to the agenda. We received notification today that Murray and Friends of the Field would like to reschedule the hearing that had been set for January 21st to consider Murray's application to BZA to approve the Barrett Fields as built until February 25th. So I'd like to have that on the agenda to discuss what that means in terms of current developments and where the commission might need to take action over the next several weeks. Secondly, I also received just today the details of DDOT's planned construction on Oregon Avenue from Tennyson to Nebraska, which is to do storm water management work that frankly I didn't even know needed to be done, and I had not heard about it even in concept until last week when I asked for the details, and I got them today. So I need to brief people on that because that concerns the commuter route through our neighborhood and affects the entire community. And thirdly, I'd like to ask consideration of bystander training for anyone interested in our neighborhood in light of ICE activity, and certainly in light of what we just saw happen tragically last week in Minnesota concerning a bystander. I've been doing some work on this, and I have a proposal for bystander training I'd like to share with the commission. So that would mean 3 items, not in addition to. I would ask that we then take off the agenda to allow time for these consideration of these broader strategic matters. The only thing that I would like to keep on would be just an initial report of the survey results that I've been receiving on neighbor views about neighborhood issues that are of importance to them. So that's sorry for that. Quite a lengthy amendment, but new developments just today have driven it. Do you need me to recap that?
No,
Okay.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Any other changes to the agenda, commissioners? Okay. Any discussion on those? Okay. Commissioner Simmons.
Just wanted to know the timing of what Commissioner Sherman is asking for. Can we put a limit? Or I just want to know the timing of the discussion.
Sure. I think the Murray filing issue should be no more than 5 to 10 minutes. I think the DDOT construction issue, depending upon commissioner questions, should be 10 minutes at most. The bystander training is about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And the survey results would be, again, not very long, 5 to 10 minutes, but that was part of what I already wanted had asked to be included on the agenda.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? All right, I'll move that we amend the agenda with the addition of the 3 additional talking points or topics from Commissioner Sherman and a modification of the strategic issues and priorities to only include survey results. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Commissioners, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay, 7-0. All right, thank you. Commissioner Nagy, the minutes for December 8th.
Yeah, thank you. I move that we adopt the minutes for from the December 8th ANC meeting with leave to make technical corrections.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye or raise your
Aye.
hand.
Aye.
Aye.
7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And at this point in the agenda is our ANC resident forum for 15 minutes. Commissioner Nagy, did you have your hand raised for
Oh,
new?
no, I'm sorry, not on purpose. Thank you.
So it would be a time for any resident to raise an issue with the ANC. That could be something that we do have on the agenda or something that we don't have on the agenda. But if you would like to present something, including people from council members' office, mokers, just use the raise your hand function and I'll call on you. And we'll start with Cal.
Hi there. This is just a transportation update. So on December the 14th, there were changes made only to scheduling. Well, actually, it was one change. It was not, it was a routing change. So there's scheduling changes, minor scheduling changes to the Barnaby Woods line, to the Connecticut Avenue line, and to the rush hour line that goes from Silver Spring to Tenleytown and Mount Pleasant. They're just adjustments in the range of 1 to 5 minutes. The departure times didn't change for the C85 or the D70, but along the way there were small changes. There's lots of them, and too many to actually account on a call like this. The other thing is that there was a routing change on the C87, which is a school bus line that goes from Silver Spring across Military down Nebraska, that almost all the trips now, most of the trips are now going all the way to Mount Pleasant. And this is in both directions, in both the morning and the evening hours, afternoon hours. And some of the C87s will begin and end at Tenleytown, and some of the C87s will still bypass Tenleytown on Nebraska Avenue. So that's my report.
Okay, thank you, Cal. And are you presenting that on behalf of Better Bus? I mean, your transportation.
Friends of the Bus Transit, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Make sure you say that.
Okay.
Thank you. William?
Hello, everyone. My name is William Owen Cox. I'm the Ward 3 liaison for the mayor's office. I just have two quick announcements. First, some of you may have heard Kendall Gibson is no longer the Ward 3 manager. She's moved on to a new position as the deputy director for community relations for Wards 1 through 4. So going forward, if anyone needs to get in touch with the Moker's office, I'm putting my contact info in the chat. So I'll be handling everything in Ward 3. We will get someone on board at some point in the near future. I'm just not sure who or exactly when. But when that happens, we'll introduce them then. Also, the MLK Day Parade will be happening on Monday, January 19th. At 10:30 a.m. It will be at the Berry Farm Recreation Center, which is at 1230 Sumner Road Southeast. So please join us there next Monday. We'd like to see you there. That's it for me.
Thank you. William, what time is it MLK?
So the start time is 10:30 a.m. So if you get there a little bit before then, just to make sure everyone's lined up, then we'd be glad to see anyone who wants to come and show out. And that's it for me, unless there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Nagy, you have a question?
Yeah, really quickly, thank you. Owen, I know when Kendall was the manager, she had 3, 4, wards 3 and 4. Does that still hold true for you, wards 3 and 4?
So there are Ward 4 mokers and a manager at this time, so they handle everything for 4.
Okay,
If we do have a tabling event, sometimes we'll have one of each of us, so one of 3, one of 4. But I think it's dependent on our schedule, so I can't say for sure that the next tabling event. It depends on what myself and Ward 4 can manage.
great. Would you be able to put the ward 4 contact in the chat?
Oh yeah, sure. I can type that out and then I'll add it.
Thank you, much appreciated.
All right. Ms. Rogers?
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry that my camera is not working. I will have to take it in tomorrow to get it repaired. But Happy New Year to all of the commissioners. Happy New Year. I think it's been a while since I've spoken before you all. But I just have just a couple of updates. The first one has to do with the performance oversight hearings. And I'm sure you all know this, that the council will begin holding performance oversight hearings. These hearings are an opportunity for council members to assess agency performance over the last year, and for residents to speak directly with agency leaders about issues that they care about. These hearings are now on the DC Council website. I will put that link in the chat. And for more information on how to prepare your testimony and other helpful information, I'll put links to that as well. Did want to mention that with the Martin Luther King weekend updates, that DC government services will be modified on Monday, January 19th. So next week's trash collection will slide forward one day. So that means, of course, if your trash is normally picked up on Monday, it won't be picked up until Tuesday and so on. And then the final thing I want to mention is that the Rodent Abatement and Transparency Act, after hearing from so many Ward 4 residents about rat infestation across our community, Councilmember Louis George introduced this act. This bill will strengthen the district's ability to hold property owners accountable by allowing DC Health to recover costs when it steps in to address rodent infestation. If you'd like to advocate in support of this bill, you can visit dccouncil.gov/hearing to sign up to testify at DPW, as well as DC Health's performance oversight. I will put that information in as well. And then I'm sure that all of you all get our weekly newsletter that comes out every Friday. I know that some of you all even forward it on to your constituents, which we really, really appreciate. And then the last item this time is that we do Ward 4 office hours. Every Wednesday, we do it at Fort Stevens Recreation Center from noon to 1. And then we head over to the Hattie Holmes Senior Wellness Center from 1:30 to 2:30. Thank you all so much for giving me an opportunity to speak on behalf of Councilmember Janice Louis George.
You're welcome. Thank you, Barbara. And Barbara, off the top of your head, do you know the date for the hearing on the rat abatement bill?
I don't, but I'll look it up and put it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Commissioner Sherman.
I just wanted to go back to Cal for 1 second to thank him for the update on the buses. And if Cal, you by chance have a write-up or just the details that you could send along to the commission, I will put that in my next newsletter to my constituents, and I appreciate it.
Okay, great. Just a paragraph or two.
Yeah. Short and sweet's fine. I'll send it on to my
I'll send it to all the commissioners.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
That would be great.
Thank you, Cal.
Mhm. Oh, I want to mention while I got the floor that there are budget hearings coming up for fiscal year 2027 for WMATA, and I'll make the announcements at the next meeting because I'll have the firm information from them.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay. With that, we will move on to the next portion of the agenda, which is the top of the year ANC requirements. So at this time, I'm going to move former Commissioner Robert Gordon up amongst the current commissioners because he is going to be conducting our elections. So ANC elections occur every year in January, along with setting our meeting time, meeting dates, and just basic administrative stuff. But the first order of business is to select new officers for 2026. According to our bylaws, that election can be conducted by a member of the community or a commissioner that is not running for office. In this case, Robert's name was put forward. Everybody in the commission pretty much agreed. I personally have spoken to Robert about the process, and we are pretty much on the same page, so this should go pretty smoothly. We'll start, obviously, with the chair. Former Commissioner Gordon will call for nominations. The person that's called for nomination will ask or answer, I guess, Mr. Gordon, Robert, you can ask them if they accept the nomination. And then once we go through that, then call the nominations closed, and then we'll take a vote. I would suggest in order of the nomination. And then we will go to the next position. So at this point in time, yes, Commissioner Nagy?
No, I just want to make sure that everyone realizes that my hand is up and that it was up before.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Simmons had her hand up, then you had your hand up.
No, I think it was the other way around.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Gordon, or former Commissioner Gordon. Robert, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be selected for this moderator role. Commissioner Gore, you've stolen a little bit of my thunder. I want to go through the process, the nomination process, the election process, and the tiebreaker process if we unfortunately get to that stage. So the nomination and voting process will follow the guidelines established by the ANC 34G bylaws, the OANC guidance, and the DC ANC law. Elections are conducted by a person outside the ANC to serve as moderator, and that would be me. Commission members will be voting in turn for chairperson, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. The chair may not also hold the office of treasurer. Any commissioner may nominate a candidate for office, including for her or himself, which must be seconded. Nominees will be asked if they wish to serve in that office. There will be no discussion of the candidates or nominees by commissioners or others. So that's the nomination process. The election process, when nominations are closed, the election will take place by open vote. Votes will be made by roll call since we are electronically, and it would be difficult to see hands raised. Alphabetically according to last name of commissioner. Voting will be simply an affirmative vote for one of the nominees. The nominee who has received the simple majority of the votes cast will be named to that office. In the event that there is no simple majority after the first vote, there will be a runoff election between the top two candidates. and that follows the ANC bylaws. In the event that there is no majority on the second vote, a tiebreaker process will be used, and that's required by law. And finally, talking about the tiebreaker, the nomination process will be reopened and additional nominees may be put forward for a vote. If a majority vote is not achieved at this point, the moderator will use a game of chance to break the tie. So I'd like to give the commissioners an opportunity to ask questions about this process, if they have any. Okay, with that, I'd like to entertain a nominee for chairperson.
Robert, I
I would
nominate,
like to nominate Lisa Gore.
No,
For
Liz
chairperson.
was first. Liz had her hand up first.
my hand up first, Karrenthya.
I didn't see a hand.
I had it
We go
first.
from
I-
Robert on your screen, left to right, in order of, and I think at some point both of them put their hands up, and then both.
All
of them
right, so
put their
I heard a nomination for Lisa Gore.
Nominate Laura Phinizy as chair.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
I nominate Commissioner Laura Phinizy to be chair.
I second both.
Okay. Do I have any other nominations? So are we clear that two nominees have been nominated, Gore and Phinizy? Is that correct? All right, I'm going to go down the list alphabetically of commissioners.
Robert, you have to ask if we accept.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Do you accept the opportunity for this role? Commissioner Gore,
No, I decline. Thank you.
you decline.
Yes.
Okay.
It's flying.
This is certainly not going the way I anticipated. Commissioner Phinizy, do you accept the role and will act in that capacity?
I do, and I will.
All right, so I'm going to give, so we have only one nomination at this point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, Commissioner Gore, do you vote for Commissioner Phinizy?
Yes.
Commissioner Gosselin?
Yes.
Commissioner Grunewald?
Yes.
Commissioner Nagy?
Yes.
Commissioner Phinizy?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherman?
Yes.
Commissioner Simmons?
I abstain.
Abstain. Well, I think I spent a lot of effort in thinking of tiebreakers, but it looks like Commissioner Phinizy has been elected chair. Congratulations.
Sorry, trying to unmute there. Thank you very much, and I will do my best to justify the faith everybody has shown in me. Thank you.
So we're moving on to vice chair. Do I have a nomination for vice chair?
I would like to
Simmons?
nominate Commissioner Gosselin.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Gosselin, please.
Gosselin.
I second.
Laura's
Are there
got
any
her
other
hand up.
nominations?
Yes.
Laura has her hand up.
Say that again?
I do have my hand up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. May I nominate Commissioner Nagy?
Nagy. Any other nominations?
You need a
Wait, do I have a second on
You need a
Nagy?
second.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Okay. So we're going to go down the same
You need to ask.
list.
You need to ask us if we're going to accept the office.
Oh, yes. Gosselin, will you accept?
Yeah.
And Commissioner Nagy, will you accept?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Lisa Gore, who do you vote for?
Gosselin.
Peter Gosselin, who do you vote for?
Gosselin.
Carol Grunewald, who do you vote for?
Nagy.
Commissioner Nagy, who do you vote for?
Nagy.
Commissioner Phinizy, who do you vote for?
Nagy.
Commissioner Sherman, who do you vote for?
Nagy.
Uh,
Simmons, Gosselin,
Commissioner Simmons, who do you vote for?
Gosselin.
Gosselin. All right, so let me recount. Commissioner Gore, Gosselin. Commissioner Gosselin, Gosselin. Commissioner Grunewald, could you tell me again?
Nagy.
Nagy. Commissioner Nagy. Nagy.
Yes.
Commissioner Phinizy.
Nagy.
Oh, Goss. Oh,
Commissioner Sherman.
Nagy.
And Commissioner Simmons. Gosselin, is that correct? Okay, so we have 4 for Nagy, 3 for Gosselin. The next vice chair will be Commissioner Nagy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I will also do my best to justify your faith in me. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to treasurer. Do I have a nomination for treasurer? Do I have any hands up? Commissioner Phinizy.
Commissioner Simmons.
Simmons. Any other nominations? I see no others. Is that correct? Okay. So Commissioner Gore?
No, you have to
You have
ask.
to accept.
What's that?
You have to
You have to ask Karrenthya. Will
Commissioner
she
Simmons.
accept the job if she voted?
I'm sorry, I'm getting overlapping.
You need to ask Karrenthya Simmons
Oh,
whether
yes.
she takes the job.
Do
Well,
you
there needs to
accept
be a
this?
second, so I'll second it.
You second. Do you, Commissioner Simmons,
I
do you
second Commissioner Simmons, yes.
concur?
I decline. Thank you.
I decline.
I do not concur.
You
No,
do
thank
not concur. So is there any other nomination for treasurer? Okay. I guess
Somebody better step up.
we need to complete all of the offices.
If you don't have a commission treasurer, first thing tomorrow, your first job will to cut off all payments that the commission is making. We will be outside of the law spending any money if we do not have a treasurer. So I suggest we get a nomination for treasurer immediately. Somebody's going to have to do it.
I've never seen a situation, and I've seen many votes on this. There's no nominee for any office. Is there no one that will step forward to serve as treasurer? All right. We'll move on.
Robert, excuse me, if no one else will step up to do it, we have to have somebody. I will offer to do it.
Sherman.
Thank you.
I'll second
Did we
that.
get a second on that?
Yes, I'll second.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And you concur to do that. We'll have a vote. Lisa Gore, do you vote for Sherman, Commissioner Sherman?
Yep.
Yes. Gosselin, Commissioner Gosselin.
You're on
Hello?
mute, Peter.
Peter, you're on mute. He didn't get your vote.
I'm sorry, Sherman.
Okay. Commissioner Grunewald,
Yes.
Commissioner Nagy,
Yes, for Sherman.
Commissioner Phinizy,
Yes, for Sherman.
Commissioner Sherman,
Yes.
and Commissioner Simmons.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for stepping up.
Sure.
Bold. The next and last position is for secretary. Do I hear any nominations for secretary? Commissioner Grunewald.
Yeah. Seeing that there aren't any nominations, I will volunteer myself.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay, so Commissioner Gore, your vote for Commissioner Grunewald,
Yep.
Commissioner Gosselin,
Yes.
Commissioner Grunewald,
Yes.
take that for granted. Commissioner Nagy,
Yes, for Grunewald.
okay. Commissioner Phinizy,
Yes, Commissioner Grunewald.
Commissioner Sherman,
Yes.
and Commissioner Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This was
Excuse me.
smoother than I had expected. So just to recap, the chairperson has been elected and by a vote of 6 and to no to 1 abstain. That's Phinizy. The vice chairperson, Commissioner Nagy by 4 votes. Commissioner Sherman as treasurer, 7 votes. And Secretary Commissioner Grunewald by 7 votes. So that rounds out all of the offices. Congratulations to all of you. I'm thankful that I didn't have to go to a deck of cards for the most problematic event of a tiebreaker. So congratulations. I can send this spreadsheet that I created to the commission as evidence that this election took place.
Thank you very much.
Robert.
Thank you
Yep,
for doing
thank you,
that.
Robert.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This has been very pleasant, actually.
My only regret, Robert, is I didn't get to see the card trick.
I
There
know.
you go.
Next time, well, let's not hope it happens next time.
And as we move forward, I want to thank the previous year's officers for all their hard work and dedication. And I know that they will give the incoming folks the benefit of their experience in making a smooth transition. So thank you. The next item on the agenda is the adoption or discussion of the ANC meeting start time. I see that we had talked about starting at 6:30 versus 7 p.m. Is there anyone who would like to talk on that? Commissioner Simmons.
Yes, I would like for us to return back to 7 p.m. start times. I know, more individuals with younger family would benefit from a later start time. So I make a motion for our ANC meetings to start at 7.
A second.
Is there anyone who would would need any more information before we vote?
Can someone just refresh my memory as to why we moved it to 6:30?
To accommodate the time length of our meetings.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so is there any further debate, any further questions? Okay, are we ready for the question? The question is on the adoption of the motion to move the start time from 6:30 to 7 p.m. We could take a vote going, I'll go in SMD order. That's just how my brain works. Sometimes my screen gets different people popped in there. Commissioner Gore?
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Sherman?
Yes.
Commissioner Grunewald?
Yes.
Commissioner Phinizy, I say yes. Commissioner Simmons?
Yes.
Commissioner Gosselin?
Yes.
And Commissioner Nagy?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion carries and our start time will be 7 p.m. as of January 26th, or our next meeting, whichever, as long as after we adopt the schedule. So in our next meeting. So now our next item is the adoption of the 2026 meeting schedule. I can read out all the dates and then we can go through and see if we want to keep this or if there are any suggestions. We have January 12th and 26th, February 9th and 23rd, March 9th and 23rd, one meeting in April 27th, one meeting in May the 11th, two meetings in June, that would be the 8th and 22nd, two meetings in July proposed, 13th and 27th, no meetings proposed for August, one meeting proposed in September on the 28th, one meeting proposed in October on the 26th, one meeting proposed in November the 9th, and one meeting proposed in December. So, having said that, do we have any comments or thoughts on retaining these dates or choosing different ones? Commissioner Simmons.
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we start off with one meeting a month, because I find that we create things to meet about when we have multiple meetings, and as significant events happen, we can schedule the additional meetings. Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion that's been seconded to go to one meeting a month. We can consider the motion. Do we have thoughts on this? Moving to one meeting a month. Commissioner Gore?
So I had my hand raised to explain actually the calendar of meetings, so I'm going to do both. The calendar of meetings comes from our bylaws. We meet on the second and I think fourth Monday. So that's why you see in some months two, and the reason why you see in some months one meeting is because that meeting falls on a holiday or falls after a holiday. It's always been ANC tradition. So around the Jewish holidays, around, other holidays, that we don't meet on that particular Monday. So given that, we are one of the few ANCs that meets twice a month, one of the few. I am not opposed to meeting once a month. And if we need to schedule an additional meeting, so since Commissioner Simmons brought that up, I'll just, offer my support on it. If we need to have an additional meeting that month, we can always schedule it or, call for a special meeting. So I'm not opposed to it.
Thank you. Commissioner Sherman.
2 or 3 quick comments. The first is on the proposed schedule of meetings, we would have the August recess. The first meeting, September of the 28th, would mean that we would be almost 2 months in between meetings. And there would be arguably constituent business, requests for special exceptions, liquor license renewals, other things that would need to be addressed in a more timely fashion. So I would suggest if we do this, that we move the meeting up in September to account for that possibility. Secondly, I can support one meeting a month that would be focused on the routine business, the generally sort of routine business of the commission, and then a meeting that we would set according to a strategy of looking at important issues to the community that would be dedicated to a single issue, to allow for adequate time to address that. It could be obviously transportation, it can be public safety, it can be any number of things that we might want to take a look at. I would suggest, in addition to that, that as we consider our meetings online, as opposed to having some meetings back in person, that consistent with that schedule, one meeting attending to business items, one meeting focused on issues, that we hold that meeting on issues in person and do that on a rotating basis at venues across our commission area. So for example, at the community center, yes, but then at Ingleside, at Knollwood, at St. John's College High School, so that we get the commission out into the community, engaging face-to-face with constituents on their turf, if you will, in their immediate neighborhood. So a few other thoughts along the lines of thinking about what our meeting schedule would be for 2026.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherman. Commissioner Grunewald.
Yes, I just want to remind all the commissioners that we've had some extraordinarily long meetings in the past year. And I'm afraid if we reduce our schedule of meetings, this will be exacerbated. So I would not be in favor of reducing the number of our meetings, but I do like Commissioner Sherman's idea. It's intriguing.
Thank you, Commissioner Grunewald. Back to Commissioner Simmons.
Hi, I just wanted to remind that I had put a motion on the floor and it was seconded. So I don't know, are we going to vote on that and then deal with all the other business that's been discussed?
According to the procedure I had that I'm looking at here about considering a motion, we can debate the motion. So understanding what it would take to go to one meeting a month, if that's something we want to do, I think all of these points are relevant to that motion before voting. So, I I don't think we're ready to vote on it at this time because we're still looking at the pros and cons, if I'm reading the room correctly. And I have some thoughts as well, but I want to give everybody else an opportunity to speak. Commissioner Nagy?
Thank you. I have concerns about going to one meeting a month along the same lines as Commissioner Grunewald's to begin with, that our meetings have been really long. We pack a lot into them, and we need some need continuity sometimes between the meetings so that we can raise issues and then pick them up rather quickly. And my suggestion would be that we keep the 2-meeting schedule, and then if we don't need the meeting, that we cancel it, or we use it for what Commissioner Sherman was suggesting, but we would have those dates set aside in the calendar as meetings.
Thank you, Commissioner Nagy. Commissioner Gosselin?
I just wanted to clarify what Commissioner Simmons was saying. I mean, I think the confusion there is that Bruce basically seemed to advance a whole separate proposal. So I do think that we need to vote on the 1 meeting, and we can, or 2-meeting approach. And then if Bruce, you could make that as a proposal, and we can vote on that too. But it's a little confusing to conflate them.
My thought on this, and I do see, Cal, I see your hand raised. But my thought on this is, when we look at some of the hearings coming up that we have had, in order for the testimony to get read or accepted as like representative of the entire ANC, that testimony would have to be voted on before the hearing. So for example, if there were a hearing on February 25th, the meeting, let's say the meeting before that was February 23rd, and we have to publish the agenda a week before, that backs it up to February 16th. Sometimes we've been in the position where things were dropped on us in short notice. Like this weekend, I got notice of a DPR hearing about maintenance in parks. If we have only 1 meeting a month, then we might not be able to meet in time to get that testimony heard and to respond. It might limit our flexibility. And so I think having shorter meetings is good and a valid point, but I worry about not having our testimony heard and not being able to be nimble if we are down to 1 meeting a month. Cal?
So this is a request that whether you go to 1 meeting a month or you go to something more like Bruce's proposal, where you lean on one Monday and you have another Monday, or you have meetings where you cancel them, I just request that you lean more heavily on the 4th Mondays than the 2nd Mondays where possible.
Thank you. Okay, is there any other?
Sorry, I have a question. I have a question of clarification.
Commissioner Nagy.
Thank you. I'm not sure, Cal, could you elaborate? I'm not sure what you're saying, lean more heavily for what on the 4th Monday? What does that mean?
That means if there's a choice, if you end up having only 1 meeting a month and both Mondays are available, and the 4th Monday is available, I would prefer that you meet on the 4th Monday rather than the 2nd Monday, and use the 2nd Mondays more sparingly if you go to 1 meeting a month, or you have a Bruce's proposal where or somebody proposed that you schedule them and then cancel them if you don't need them. Either way, the 4th Monday is better than the 2nd Monday. That's all. And part of that has to do with hearing schedules, which tend to be early in the month. That'll give you better preparation for your testimony and all that. And there are other reasons too.
Thank you.
Does that clarify it for you, Liz?
It does. Thank you.
Commissioner Sherman?
Can I then make a friendly amendment to the motion that Commissioner Simmons has proposed, consistent with the idea that I mentioned, and this seeks to sort of reconcile the two ideas. That is to say, schedule a primary meeting, a business meeting, one a month, set aside a slot for a second meeting. That second meeting, in my thinking, should be dedicated to a primary issue of concern to the community that we would want to set a time, sufficient time to address. And then if we don't need that meeting, we pull it. But if there is also, to your point, Commissioner Phinizy, hearing or some other urgent matter coming up where we would actually need to have some time to approve a testimony or adopt a resolution, whatever it might be, we then have that flexibility.
Okay, so we have a move to amend the motion. Commissioner Simmons?
Yes. What?
I believe that, and I'm going to ask for some grace here, but I believe that for it to be you would need to accept that friendly amendment from Commissioner Sherman, or do you not accept that friendly amendment?
I don't accept it because my suggestion was that we go once a month and then schedule additional meetings as needed. So,
okay, Commissioner Gosselin. Commissioner Gosselin, you're muted.
In fact, Bruce, it seems that your suggestion is a friendly amendment to the schedule that is in the agenda. That is to say, this has a schedule for 2 meetings. We use your approach to manage those 2 meetings.
But I was just trying to make it work one way or the other.
Yeah.
So we'll need to, I think, confine our debate to Mrs. Karrenthya's motion to move to 1 meeting a month. Does anyone else have any comments on the thought of moving to 1 meeting a month? Commissioner Gosselin.
Yeah, I actually think that we should try to stick to this 2 meeting schedule for now. And I would just encourage us to do everything we can to have shorter meetings. So that's my 2 cents on this.
Thank you, Commissioner Gosselin. Are there any other comments before we are ready for a vote? Okay, so if we are ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion to move to 1 meeting a month. Okay, I will go in order of SMD. Commissioner Gore?
No.
Commissioner Sherman?
No.
Commissioner Grunewald?
No.
Commissioner Phinizy? No. Commissioner Simmons?
yes.
Commissioner Gosselin?
No.
Commissioner Nagy?
Liz?
Commissioner Nagy, you are muted.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. No.
Okay, so if I am hearing correctly, by a vote of 1 yes, but 6 no's, the motion was defeated. Okay, and the motion fails. We can look at the calendar now. Now that we are presuming we have still the option of 1 or 2 meetings a month, are there any thoughts about these particular meeting dates? We heard that Commissioner Sherman was concerned about the gap on September 28th being gone almost from July 27th to September 14th. I had also noted that gap, and it seems also like a long gap in May from the 11th to June 8th. Commissioner Gore, the option to move to the first Monday of the month does that require a special vote to do it against the bylaws? Or the bylaws suggest it, or is it?
No, the meeting dates, no, you can add an additional date if you're trying to. Our regular meetings are scheduled second and fourth, but if you want to add, we've done that in the past. I think we did that last year where we added an additional meeting, first Monday or third Monday or whatever. You can do that.
Okay.
Just make sure, we're not falling on holidays.
Right. Just thinking about projects that we have coming up, like what happened with the CREAC with the clean water impervious area charges that were popped on us, with what's happening with DDOT, and the Tennyson Oregon Avenue stretch being under construction. We're going to have phase 2 stormwater management work up at Lafayette. We make oversight hearings. I think not having a long gap may be something we want to do. There is an option in September, the second Monday. Let me just make sure that's right. September 14th. I believe that's right, because I think Labor Day is September 7th this year.
Yep.
September 14th comes between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So that would be an option unless we wanted to go back up into August. The fourth Monday in August would be August 24th.
We're on recess. That's our recess.
All right.
I would highly discourage that.
unless we wanted to do it. Commissioner Grunewald?
Yes, I just wanted to know, I assume Lisa was the person who, suggested these dates in the first place. So I'd like to know what the rationale was for the long breaks. Maybe there's a very good reason for them.
It's basically what I said. We have always not selected dates where a holiday has fallen after that date. That's all it is.
Okay.
And our typical meetings are the second and the fourth. So if a holiday fell on them, I just skipped it. You guys can add whatever you want.
Commissioner Nagy?
I'm okay with the 14th of September. It is as a place to begin to kind of try to fill in the calendar.
And Rosh Hashanah ends on the 13th.
I have no idea. So sorry.
Yeah, it does. There's a note in the chat, and I had also put it on my calendar. So I think that may be okay. Do we want to vote on the dates as is, or any other changes other than possibly adding a date on September 14th? Do we think it's too much of a gap in March and April? Assuming that the DC government gets their budget done earlier than they did last year, that might work fine. I would say if their budget gets delayed or we have oversight hearings or budget comments that come in later, we might need to add some. Commissioner Nagy?
I think that, I know there are reasons for it, but there are some, there are several big periods of time where we have a big gap. So there's, I think you alluded to April to May, and then there's the September one, which we may be filling in. And then it's another month until October, and 3 weeks until November, and then 3 weeks until December. And then that's the end of the year, basically, right? Because that runs up into Christmas, the Christmas holidays. So I'd like to see us try to fill in some of these dates with tentative dates.
Do you have particular dates in mind?
I don't, honestly. I haven't. I pulled up my calendar right now, and I'm happy to make myself available if I can. I see that the 12th is Columbus Day, so what about the 5th of October? It's a little close to September 28th, but, you know, we'll be coming back from August recess. Maybe we'll have a lot of work to do.
I will make a note that you suggested possibly October 5th. Commissioner Grunewald.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if there's a way to strike a happy medium between, for those who want more meetings and those who want fewer meetings, by leaving the schedule almost pretty much the way it is. We can always add additional meetings. Right now, we have 16 meetings set up for this year. And of course, that's more than most ANCs. So if we leave it mostly this way, maybe add September 14th, then we could strike a balance, a happy medium between, you know, more or fewer meetings. And like I said, we've scheduled special meetings in the past. We've scheduled administrative meetings in the past, and we could always add more meetings if we need them. Thank you.
Commissioner Sherman.
Yeah, I can again agree to that and just want to keep in front of us the prospect of being proactive in how we look at issues of concern to the community and allocating time during the course of the year to address those issues. We are a commission, rightly so, appropriately so, events driven, largely reacting to things that come up, needs and concerns of the community. And at the same time, I think we can use not only our ongoing outreach to the community, data that we're getting to help guide us in terms of addressing forthrightly issues that matter to the community that are not event driven. So the schedule that we currently have with 16 meetings would leave us time, of course, as Commissioner Grunewald just said, to program another meeting. But I think in order for that to work, we have to be intentional about it and think about doing that and not just respond to the events as they come up.
Okay, is there any more discussion from the commissioners about the meeting schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, Carol,
I have
Grunewald.
oh, thank you. I have a comment here in the chat. Mary Callahan says, I've got to ask, what prerogative or process do residents have to request a special meeting given this new schedule with many gaps in dates for meetings? I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm hoping someone else will.
Well, I mean, typically it is the ANC that calls the meetings, right? But if we have a an issue that's coming up that's hot, I mean, we could request one, like if we have a special a situation like with a CREAC or with a PEPCO outages that warrant something immediate where we have to get testimony together really quickly, for example. Thoughts on that? Commissioner Simmons?
Oh, I just, since we brought up comments in the chat, I just wanted to have you acknowledge that there were other comments in the chat that we didn't address.
Thank you. Are there any other thoughts on the schedule? Okay. So are we ready to vote and decide if we want this schedule? Are we ready? Okay. Then the question is on the adoption of the calendar as it stands with the dates that I read out earlier. I won't reread them again. Those in favor, please answer when I call.
You need
I'm
a
sorry?
second. You need to call
I'm
for a
sorry. Yes.
Second.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Gore on adoption of the calendar?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Sherman?
Yes.
Gosselin? I'm sorry, Grunewald?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Phinizy? Yes. Simmons?
Yes.
Gosselin?
Yes.
And Nagy?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that will be our schedule, and barring any special meetings that we need to have to respond to events, that will be our schedule. So we will get that posted on the website so we can have that available to the community. Next item on the agenda is discussion on ANC 34G committee participation, public announcements, transportation and race, Commissioners Gore and Simmons.
Hi.
I'll go
You want to
first.
go ahead? Okay.
Yeah, for transportation, you can delete that. I'm not going to have an announcement on transportation. Thank you.
Hi. So at our last meeting in December, or whichever one it was, we had voted on new candidates for the race committee, with the exception that in January we would have to re-vote on new committee members. So I prematurely, I guess, sent out a call for new members. So this is the request to submit a call for new members for 30 days. So I make a move, so what do I need to do? Make a motion to move that we do the call again when we said we would do it after we voted in the new members.
Okay. So Commissioner Simmons has made a motion to vote for a call for new members that would that call would be open for 30 days.
I second.
Okay. Is there any need for a discussion? Anybody have questions about this? Okay, we are ready for the question. The question's on the adopting the motion that we put out a call for new members of the race committee, and that call would be open for 30 days. Commissioner Gore?
Yeah.
Commissioner Sherman?
Yes.
Commissioner Grunewald?
Yes.
Commissioner Phinizy? Yes. Commissioner Simmons?
Yes.
Commissioner Gosselin?
Yes.
Commissioner Nagy?
Yes.
Great, thank you so much. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will put out a call for new members and for 30 days. The next item on the agenda, Commissioner Sherman, if I have this correct from the amending of the agenda earlier, you had some items to talk about Murray, the DDOT project on Oregon Avenue, and bystander training.
Yeah. So again, trying to keep these to the time allotments that I had previously mentioned. I was notified today that Murray School and Friends of the Field, the two parties that have been in talks since mid-October on a new community service agreement that would be submitted to the ANC and then to the Board of Zoning Adjustment in support of Murray's new application to BZA to have the fields, Barrett Fields, approved as built, have asked that the BZA reschedule that hearing until February 25th. So that amends in terms of our planning what we thought might be the hearing on January 21st. So I just wanted to mention that to, of course, the commission. Commissioner Gore shared the notification that came from Murray's attorney, Paul Tummins, today. I think all of you have seen that, or it's in your inbox. You can take a look at it. That notification mentioned that they hope to have the agreement done in time for what they understood would be an ANC meeting on February 9th, which our current schedule is just approved would provide, so that we would look forward to taking up this agreement at that time. I just want to let the commissioners know then of the progress in these talks, this new development, and looking ahead to February 9th.
Can you get the dog?
Who is that?
I don't know, just I think a neighbor.
No, I'm sorry, that was me, my dog.
Oh, okay. Not to worry. So that's, I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed on that, since we as a commission had been thinking that January 21st would be this hearing date before the BZA. Yes, Commissioner Gosselin.
Yeah, might I suggest that, I think this is great news that both Murray and the Friends are filing for this extension. It suggests that they're working together. This is a request that they're making to the BZA for this extension. Wouldn't we want to take a vote basically saying we endorse the idea of an extension? We hope that the BZA will approve the request. I mean, it's your district, but I mean, doesn't that seem like a reasonable thing to do?
Well, I was going to get to that. So you
Oh, I'm sorry.
anticipated, no, you anticipated
Oh,
my next.
I thought
No,
you
no,
were.
that's quite all right. No, that's quite all right. You anticipated my next thought. They did ask, in fact, that the ANC support their request, and I'm proposing to draft a letter for our chair to sign that we would send on behalf of the ANC to the BZA supporting that request. So I offer to do that. I did want to outline that. We as a commission are likely to be referenced in their agreement insofar as their agreement, as I understand it, seeks to bring forward still relevant aspects of the ANC Murray MOU and to codify those provisions that have been agreed to now for going on, 4 years in this new agreement, with new elements, of course, that Friends and Murray have discussed. So there will be a need for the commission to consider our role in this and what Murray and Friends will be calling on the ANC to do in partnership with their agreement. And that would be, I am suggesting, at that February 9 meeting. This is another one of those occasions, however, that depending upon what else comes up, we may need additional time and could require a special meeting or not. We'll see how the things unfold. But just for now, to be clear, I'm notifying you of what they've asked me to do, that they've asked the BZA to reschedule. They've asked us to support that initiative, and I will draft a note for Chair Phinizy to sign. You're muted,
All right.
Peter.
Do we want to take a vote just that the commission is authorizing this letter?
I can move that exactly that. I move that I draft a letter that Chair Phinizy would sign endorsing the request by Murray School and Friends of the Field for continuation, as technically it's called, to move the meeting scheduled for January 21st before the BZA to February 25th.
I second.
Okay.
Right.
I did notice that while you were talking, we had a hand that had come up before. Mrs. Renee, did you have a comment relevant to this before we vote?
No, I actually had just a question of clarification on the 30-day that you just voted on. That's 30 days from what date?
We
Today.
haven't, oh, the 30 days from, it should be 30 days from today. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Okay, so back to, thank you for that. So back to Commissioner Sherman's motion. Would you be so kind, Commissioner Sherman, and just repeat what your motion says?
Yeah, I move that the ANC endorse the request by Murray School and Friends of the Field to the Board of Zoning Adjustment for a continuation of the filing that Murray had initially issued from January 21st, to move the hearing from January 21st to February 25th.
Okay, and it's been properly seconded. So I think we are ready for the questions, ready for the vote. So if I can have your votes, please. Is Commissioner Gore?
Yeah.
Sherman?
Yes.
Grunewald?
Yes.
Phinizy, yes. Simmons?
Yes.
Okay. Gosselin?
Yes.
Nagy?
She's waving.
Commissioner Nagy? Okay, you got a thumbs up? Okay, thank you. All righty. So thank you. All right, that is an array item. And now, Commissioner Sherman, you had a DDOT item about some surprise construction on Oregon and Tennyson?
Yeah. So DDOT notified me last week, I believe it was Wednesday, that they had a project they were going to seek to begin on or about January 20th on the stretch of Oregon Avenue from Tennyson to Nebraska, given erosion behind the curb on the sidewalk and damage done to the stormwater management system due to a previous storm some time ago. This was a project that was new to me. I hadn't heard about it before. I asked for details, meaning what customarily we receive, which is a slide deck, a backgrounder, so that I could share that with the community. I just got that today with the details, and I distributed that out with my regular newsletter, which all of you receive. So you do already have that in your inbox. And that slide deck describes the project, and there's a one-page handout, in effect, that summarizes it. But in short, it would start, as I said, on or about January 20th and run for 16 weeks until about mid-April. Oregon Avenue would remain open during the entire time of the construction, but as is customary, they would shift from one lane to the other with flaggers to direct the traffic. They would create a walkway along Nebraska when they were working on the sidewalk, a protected walkway for pedestrians. So there would still be pedestrian right-of-way. They are seeking to manage this as efficiently as possible so as, and I've stressed this to them, to try to avoid people cutting through the neighborhood at Tennyson as they're coming in the morning on Oregon and cutting through the neighborhood. Some of that's probably going to be unavoidable because people get impatient if there's a backup. Otherwise, some people may choose just to go down 16th Street. You know how these things work. But that is the long and short of it. You have it. I will also be putting this out on the listserv. I have notified separately Knollwood, the management of Knollwood. The outgoing executive director, Tim McHale, indicated that they would be sending the word around to all the Knollwood residents. And so I've offered to do a special conference call between Knollwood and DDOT if need be. Obviously, this fronts the Knollwood property. This is all along Knollwood's property from Tennyson to Oregon. So that's it in a nutshell. Not much more to say other than as I get this word out, and if you share it with your constituents, it will affect anyone traveling along Oregon in the morning or afternoon or anytime during the day from next week until mid-April. So that is the long and short of it. Happy to take any questions. I won't bother running through the PowerPoint. It's about 20 slides. It would take way too long.
I do have two questions. Does this seem to affect any bus routes?
Well, it wouldn't affect bus service. I mean, the buses do travel on that stretch, but they're going to keep one lane open at all times.
Okay. The other one is the DDOT reconstruction of Oregon Avenue was a project that was in the works for years. The one that put in all those bioretentions and new sidewalks. There was a lot of hoo-ha over the years about taking in people's front yard and putting in new sidewalks. And it seems so odd to have a failure that requires basically a redesign after only a few years following installation. I mean, there are Roman roads that are still around, hundreds of years later. And this is within less than a decade.
Yeah, they're alleging there was damage there was storm damage to the storm water management system. When you take a look at the slide deck, you'll see their description. It's not in excruciating detail as to what exactly caused the damage. But it is damage they're repairing, is what they're indicating. And it has affected the curb. It has affected the area behind the curb. It has affected the sidewalk. There's been erosion all along. They maintain Oregon Avenue. I mean, I confess, it's news to me. I wasn't aware of it. And I indicated to them that the planning for this had obviously gone on for quite some time. And the first I heard about it was last week. And interestingly, just for you to understand, Christoph Vossmer is our DDOT liaison. We all know that. I heard from Christian Pinheiro, who used to be our old DDOT liaison. He's working with another division of DDOT now that undertakes these kinds of projects. So Christian is the one who reached out to me, just so you know. But please take a look at the slide deck. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will relay those to DDOT. I will do anything necessary to provide additional information to community members and commissioners on this. So we're just going to roll with it as we currently have it.
Does anyone have any comments on this issue? All right. Well, thank you, Commissioner Sherman. And boy, that's going to be unwelcome news for a lot of folks, but hopefully it will result in a better outcome.
Right. I'm getting
yeah.
a bit of incoming already from constituents on it, so I'll be
Right,
handling those individually.
right. Especially after having, that road worked on for so long.
Right.
The bystander training.
Yeah, this is fairly straightforward. When the two ICE arrests happened in my single member district on October 20th and October 22nd, the first was at 27th and Military. We all know about that. The second was on Moreland Place at a neighbor's residence. In that first incident, as you will recall, a bystander was arrested. He was filming the scene. He was talking to the ICE agents. They alleged that he got too close to them and wouldn't back up, and so they arrested him. The arrest that took place at a neighbor's residence, the neighbor was not even aware ICE was on the property or near the property to apprehend a roofer, an immigrant Hispanic roofer, who fled. You'll recall probably that I shared video of that another neighbor took. In any event, the presence of ICE in the neighborhood, they've established a staging ground, as we know, by the horse stables in Rock Creek Park. The horse stables are just north of, or east rather, of the community garden at Northampton in Oregon. But ICE's presence, raids that have happened across the city, and of course, what we just saw last week in Minnesota with a bystander, active bystander, mind you, but nonetheless, that killing has aroused new concern and fear among neighbors about, well, what did they do if ICE shows up? So bystander training addresses that. It addresses citizens' rights, responsibilities, provides guidance, gives people counsel as to what to do so they can have this information on board in the event that ICE agents showed up on their property trying to apprehend suspects. We know how this works. And so I think it's an important thing to do for the community. I took a online training program last Wednesday by an organization called Right to Be. That was bystander training. It was only an hour. It was somewhat cursory, but provided very good information. I have since researched the issue, and organizations that provide this, such as DC Peace and others, have more extensive training. And I believe that we could provide training for interested community members. For example, I've already gotten a tentative price quote of $850 for up to 30 people with professional trainers that would go 3 hours that would be strictly for our community to give everyone an opportunity to ask questions and really dig into the issues. So I wanted to present this to you. It's not a firm proposal in writing yet. I just wanted to socialize the idea with you that I think this would be an excellent community service supported by the ANC. And I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention and get your initial comments on it.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherman. I think this is really interesting. And to me, this seems like it might be something that the race committee would also want to consider in its meeting later this week. This sounds like a very interesting opportunity. Commissioner Simmons?
I just wanted to, as I know Bruce said, this isn't a full proposal, but if he could look into how it's not limited to only 30 community members, I'm not sure the ANC would approve an event to where we limit the public's participation.
Well, it's just that the way these things are priced and the way the sessions are led, having a manageable group of people is part of the nature of the training. In other words, like most training sessions, X number of people can do it. We wouldn't have to limit it. We could do as many of these as we would have demand and budget to do. Now, alternatively, and if you take a look at my newsletter today that I sent out, I have a section on this. There are other training opportunities available to people that these organizations that are undertaking these trainings offer. So the DC Peace folks have a training on January 17th that is free to the public. However, a donation of $50 to $100 is suggested. My thought is that if we as an ANC, signaling our support, signaling our concern, on this issue were to sponsor training and provide from our budget funding for it, we would have far more people take it than if we simply say, as I just did, I just offered to people, you may want to take this training on January 17th, but you're asked for a donation if you do. Meanwhile, I indicated I would be talking to the commission about training that we would support. So that's just a little bit more on my thinking on it.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherman.
Wait, I had my hand back up. Per OANC rules, in order for us to use the budget, we have to make sure the events are open to the public. So I was just trying to offer some help with you as you're going through making this formal proposal.
Could you shut the door to the outside?
That you have an option to show that we can make it available to everyone. So ANC funds has to be available to everyone. That's all.
I agree. It would be open to anyone who'd want to participate. It's not a closed invitation or a targeted invitation.
I have a question. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying it would be open in the sense that if there were more than the initial 30 slots interest, then we could do rolling sessions.
Right.
Additional sessions, so that each session might need to be small just for logistical reasons, but we would not necessarily be limited in your thinking. Do you know if this is duplicative of any training already offered by the city? Because I know that's one thing that we have to look at, our funds kind of duplicating city services.
That's a good question. I'll look into it. I don't know offhand if the city is offering bystander training, but I certainly will look into that.
Okay, super. Thank you. We have Mary and Callahan.
I just want to report that I have had contractors at my house since June. The work has been extended because of the visibility of ice in the neighborhood, and because contractors are having a very hard time getting crews, as well as are spacing out their activity in order to keep ICE from being able to follow their work. I had a visit from ICE on the Friday before Thanksgiving. And I think they decided that it was late, that it was cold, it was Thanksgiving, everyone was out on my stoop. And after about 20 minutes of blocking out all of the contractors' cars, they went away. Because the construction work has been so visible on my property, which is on a corner lot, I have had many people stop by and also say that they would like training for their own yards as to how to deal with ice when they have contractors working in their yards. So I think this is very important.
Thank you so much, Mary. Renee?
We may also want to consider it like train the trainer type structure. So if we can train other people in the community, and then, they could be certified to do additional training.
Yeah, that's a very constructive idea. I think if we do one of these, we'll kind of get our feet wet, as it were, and figure out what the demand might be for this. You never know. There might be 10 people interested. There might be 100 people. It's a little hard to gauge, where we are on this. I will say this, that on the neighborhood issues survey that we're currently running, this is a new item this year because of the ICE arrest last year. And it's polling very strongly in terms of people's concern, as they say to them. The demand may be strong.
All right. Renee, did you have further thoughts? I see your hand is still up.
No, I'll move it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Commissioner Sherman. These are very interesting ideas, and I'm sorry that the times have brought us to this point, but I appreciate your investigation and
Yeah, and just
energy.
in terms of next steps, I will get firm proposals from several organizations and share them with the commission, and we can take these up if appropriate at the next meeting, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, and if you can also reach in and find out if we would be duplicating city services, because I
Yeah.
think that would be difficult. And also Commissioner Simmons' question as to whether, a small session would be considered limiting to the public if additional sessions would subsequently be offered.
Yeah, sure.
If that is the way to, have it open.
Right.
Thank you. Okay. So we are actually about 10 minutes ahead of time. I don't want to jinx things, but we are looking good. We have next on deck a treasurer's report from the treasurer who stepped in and did a great job last year, Commissioner Simmons.
No report tonight.
All right. So now we have some possible discussion for items for January 26th, regular meeting. Presentation for Chevy Chase Main Street. Is there anyone who wants to clarify that? Okay, I'll put a question mark on that one. The CRIAC fee update, I think, that's the impervious water charge that is getting some hoo-ha. We had reached out to Emmanuel Briggs of DC Water, their spokesperson, to see if he might be available. Commissioner Gore, did you ever hear back from him? Because I have not heard back. I believe you're still muted.
I thought he sent us the email today.
He did.
He may have, and then I didn't see it. Okay, so would you be?
Phinizy? He did.
Yes.
He sent an email saying that
Okay.
they would be happy to come and talk to us.
On January 26th?
I don't, honestly, I don't remember
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, we'll
What you
check. Okay, that's great. I see hands up. Commissioner Nagy, did you have additional information? No. And Cal?
Just usually these list of items are just read. I've never heard them be discussed in a meeting. They're just read as possible items for the next meeting.
It would be helpful to have an understanding of what they are, even if it's just a brief moment to explain what these items are. But thank you. I'll keep that under advisement going forward. ANC bylaws update, Commissioner Sherman?
A couple of things. By the next meeting, we will have fairly significant data from several SMDs on neighbor reaction to important issues to them. And I'd like to set aside some time and share that with the commission, not only to share the information in itself, but also to have it begin to shape our understanding of how we might set aside time to address some of the issues that are coming up. I will note that it's been open for just a week, and we have currently more than 300 responses. And the likelihood is by the end of the month, we'll have 500 plus. That will constitute a very significant body of information. I've offered to any commissioner to customize this survey for your SMDs if you wish to run it. I haven't gone out and broadcast it to the entire community, since I respect that commissioners may or may not want to run it in their single member districts. But in any event, I think it's providing me with significant insights into what neighbors are concerned about that will certainly help me in my work during the course of 2026. And I would want to offer that also to the commission.
Thank you. Commissioner Gore?
Yes, I would just go back to our discussion that we previously had on surveys and using the tools that we already have available that we're actually paying for. Commissioner Simmons brought this up as past treasurer, And the position that we put ourselves in to continue to pay and spend government funds on community engagement tools that we're not using. I've personally also said I'm not comfortable with one commissioner's surveys that they're sending out to the community representing the views of all the community. We have Go Vocal. We could easily put this information on Go Vocal and create a community engagement site. I also know that some groups, Chevy Chase Voice, sent this out to their email list. So I'm concerned about where the responses are coming from and if they outweigh other members of the community. So I think, we need to have a broader discussion about this and come up with a process that involves the entire ANC. I appreciate your work on surveys, Bruce. I think everybody is concerned about their constituents being polled and making sure that we get their views, but I think we need to, it's high past time that we get together as an ANC and do this as an ANC. That's my comment.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Gore. Commissioner Nagy?
To defer to Commissioner Gosselin, if you don't mind, and maybe take it up after his comments.
Okay. Commissioner Gosselin.
Just to say, in regard to what Lisa just said, we should add the Go Vocal contract to. I mean, you had a discussion at the beginning of the meeting about that. Apparently, I was supposed to do something that I didn't do, and so it's easy enough to get a contract. But I think that when we do get a contract renewal from Go Vocal, we ought to have the discussion that Lisa is talking about, because we specifically got that tool to be able to do ANC-wide, both presenting of issues and also getting community feedback. And the truth is that given the way 2025 went, we really didn't put it to use, and we need to make a clear commitment, I think, to put it to use or to cancel the contract. I mean, I'd add that to the agenda for next time.
Okay, thank you. And could I ask if you can get that contract maybe to us early, that we can have a chance to go through it ahead of time? That would be awesome.
Sure.
Thank you, Commissioner Gosselin. Commissioner Nagy, would you like to speak at this moment?
Thank you. With respect to what Commissioner Gore said about the surveys, my SMD has got a survey out to them right now. But it doesn't purport to be an ANC survey by any stretch of the imagination. It's clearly states that it's for SMD 07, and people are asked to say if they're in this SMD, my SMD, or our SMD 07, or not. There's a certain amount of faith that you have to have in them telling the truth, but it's not an ANC-wide survey by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't have any problem with discussing whether we should be doing Go Vocal, but I just wanted to make the point to clarify.
Thank you, Commissioner Nagy. Cal?
Sorry, that was left over from last time.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Grunewald.
Yes, I just wanted to add that I too am conducting a survey in my SMD 03. I find these surveys to be quite helpful to me in determining what people in my SMD care about. And I've gotten so much response from emails, calls, and texts from people in my district saying they've never been asked before any of these questions. Their opinions have never been sought. They are so appreciative that I'm sending out these surveys. So I'm going to continue to do that in my SMD. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gore?
Yeah, let me just clarify. The question is not on commissioners sending surveys. ANC 34G has historically sent out surveys. Individual commissioners have historically sent out surveys. The question is, if we are going to conduct surveys where that rolls over into strategic priorities for this ANC, then we should get together in the beginning to discuss how that is going to be done, to include what is going to be said. Strategic priorities on behalf of ANC 34G includes SMDs 1 through 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Gore. And I think that's a wonderful thing we can follow up with, because I think having a roadmap for the year will help us be more efficient, and knowing the priorities of constituents, getting those will help us be more efficient as well, and use our time better, have shorter meetings, all that good. Commissioner Gosselin, and then I'll go to Cheryl Barnes. Peter, you're muted.
Sort of a point of order. We're having this discussion about an agenda for the next meeting. It seems to me that we ought to close out this evening's meeting and be done with it. And unless you want to go through some of these other items, but to end up in a debate about the nature of surveys and the nature of, we're talking about all this next meeting, so why talk about it, pre-talk about it now? Let's just, so my suggestion is we close the discussion and frankly, the meeting too, but I mean, if there's other stuff to do with the meeting.
I'll take another comment. Thank you, Peter. I'll take a comment from Cheryl Barnes, and then I just want to make sure I understand who's doing the other items there. Cheryl?
Thank you, and congratulations to all of the new leadership roles. That was amazing and wonderful. I just wanted to clarify one thing. When Chevy Chase Voice sends out an outreach to its supporters reside in 34G. We're a grassroots organization of citizens who live in 34G. Our members all live in 34G. So if we're sending out a survey, we're sending it out to our neighbors in 34G. We're not like the Coalition for Smarter Growth that pulls in survey information from outside of 34G, and in fact, even outside of Washington, D.C., or some of the other organizations that we all know about in Chevy Chase. But I just wanted to make that clarification. If our supporters are responding to Commissioner Sherman's survey, which I hope they have, because that's really the only way, for example, SMD 01 residents might make their opinions known at present. And the other thing is the previous commission has had months and months and months, a year, I think, in fact, to come up with other ways to survey residents in 34G, and that hasn't happened. So huge kudos to any and every commissioner who has done an outreach on any of these topics with their neighbors. That's great. Thank you. Keep doing it.
Right. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, Commissioner Simmons, and then I will move that we just check on who's responsible for the remaining items.
Yeah, can you add, I have been asking for our website to be updated. I have a constituent who's been asking me for meeting minutes. That's not on our website. We have a couple of other letters and documents that haven't been added to the website, and I haven't received a response from Bruce. So if you can add that to the agenda, and maybe we can have since we have a new vice chair, maybe the new vice chair will update the website. But I would like to respond back to my constituent. It's been since October, and I like to give them items that they need when they ask.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Simmons. Commissioner Gore.
Just real quick, and again, to clarify, when you have any organization send out emails on behalf of one commissioner or several, but not all, you have to wonder about the influence. And I think the same thing would be said if there was another organization that only send out constituent or emails from one commissioner versus the other. It is not the fact that where people live, I could care less where they live. The fact of the matter is the influence. And that is what I am saying in terms of making sure that it is a fair ANC-wide push so that everyone in our community gets the same email. Because if you're not a member of that organization, then maybe you didn't get the information. So there's still a bias and there's still a slant in terms of who gets what. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we're all, really committed to working with the tools that we are trying to learn and master to reach out to our communities. And we'll keep working on it. There's still room for growth, but we're working on it. Commissioner Grunewald.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Cheryl Barnes said. I mean, some of our commissioners in the past year have tried very hard to get the commission to do an ANC-wide survey, or a couple of them, and there was no interest. So, as individual commissioners, I guess we just need to do what we need to do to serve our own SMDs, and hopefully this new ANC that we've got tonight will proceed with community-wide surveys. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Commissioner Grunewald. I would like to, maybe we can do this by show of hand, just to see, make it shorter. The ANC bylaw updates, do we have somebody taking the lead on that?
So we might want to, just a suggestion, do some of this off of email, Laura.
Okay.
Some of this is going to require discussion.
Okay.
There's no one necessarily taking the lead on these. These are things that have come up over time that have kind of sat in our pipeline. So you might want to just solicit on email who wants to do that.
Okay.
Bylaws is typically taken up by the chair.
Okay. We can do that. I am a little confused about Food Policy Council budget presentation, and that may be because
You can put me down for that.
You can put you down for that one? Okay, great. And annual report, is that Liz from the secretary, from the previous secretary?
That's the chair.
That's the chair.
Lisa,
Okay.
have you finished your
Nope.
2025 report?
Nope.
Are you going to?
Nope.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It's the chair that does the report.
Well, but it's for the previous year, and you were chair in the previous year.
Okay. We'll talk offline about that, because obviously I'll just need to make sure what needs to gets done, and the timeline for that. Okay, commissioner announcements, going by SMD, Commissioner Gore.
No, I don't have any announcements. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Sherman?
No.
Commissioner Grunewald?
No, thank you.
I have a brief one. We had a meeting up at Lafayette Point Park Rec Center. It was about the phase 2 of the stormwater project. The good news was it was not nearly as concrete based and over engineered as the phase 1, which was really disruptive to the flow and natural feel of Lafayette Point Park. I think there's still some tweaking to do, but we had a community turnout with different folks from the school community gardens, Friends of Lafayette Park, and different neighbors who play and use the park there. One thing that it was a little concerning was that DPR was saying it was going to limit the meetings to only 3. DGS protocol provides for up to 6. And they were saying because it was, a relatively small $1.7 million that, we might not get as many meetings, but I think, having a good result is important. So I'll continue to push for updates and community engagement so that we can get something that not only maintains the water, but flow and prevents erosion, but also enhances our play spaces. And then kind of corollary to that, we have a hearing this Friday, an option for DPR maintenance. This includes both indoor and outdoor. So people who are concerned about maintenance, whether it's anything from Wilson Pool to Tacoma Pool, to the mulch, to the sand, to the trash pickup, whatever, I think Commissioner, our Ward 4 council member, Janice Lewis George, is working hard to kind of pull those issues together. And also interested in preserving the green space and feel of parks, which has kind of diminished over the years. So those are 2 from me. Commissioner Simmons?
The only update I want to add to the community is Lafayette. We lost a a member of our community, Mr. Benab, who's been involved in the Chevy Chase community, the school, the HSA. I'm a part of the HSA. We will have, in spring, we'll have our gymnasium dedicated to honor Mr. Benab. We're, in lieu of flowers, the family is requesting donations to the Benab Scholarship Fund, and I can put that donation link in the chat. This fund will be operated by the Lafayette Home and School Association to ensure all children have access to after-school activities and for sports for years to come.
That is wonderful. My kids loved Mr. Benab. He was part of the Laugh After School program that they attended. And at one point, my son called him Dad. When he went up to him, he was that much of a father figure to many kids and influenced literally thousands of people, brought calm to a lot of parents as well. Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. Yes, and if you put that in the chat, but also if you can send it around by email so we can send it out to our constituents, that would be great. That's lovely news. Commissioner Gosselin.
Two quick announcements. One is you'll remember, 6 months ago or more, the son of another Lafayette School fixture, Mr. Coombs, sought to install at his expense, or as it turns out, generous members of the community have now helped, a bench like all the other benches on the west side of Connecticut Avenue in front of the Avalon. The city's public space committee has tortured that process for all the times since we originally talked about it. I think it's probably more like 8 months, but has finally issued a permit, so it's going to be installed sometime in the next couple of weeks. So if you go past the UPS store, which Brian Coombs manages, give him a pat on the back. He and Chaz Cadwell of the historic Chevy Chase DC worked their asses off to get the permit. And the other thing is that just a shout out to DC Water. As part of the sewer project, they were going to shut down service during the day of the assisted living community on Chevy Chase on Connecticut Avenue. The residents council and the executive director of the facility said, you just can't do that. We have too many infirm people who need to have water service during the day. And they've agreed to move it to nights and get night permits and do the work in late February. So that's a huge help to that facility. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm so good to hear about that bench. Sometimes the wheels of bureaucracy move slowly. Our bear permit that they filed for carving the bear stump in October is still under review by DPR. Commissioner Nagy.
Thank you. Piggybacking on what Commissioner Gosselin just said, DC Water was going to shut off the water further down Connecticut Avenue, right below Military, basically between Jennifer and Kanawha, where the church is, in front of the church, and actually around the corner for some of the houses on Jennifer, but most importantly, for the Montessori school that operates out of the property at the church. And so Peter was kind enough to put DC Water in touch with me, and I worked with DC Water. And as with the assisted living facility, they will not be shutting off the water during the day. They're going to move it to nights, and we can expect to see a request to endorse a permit for working at nights for those two activities, I believe, which I think Peter was just alluding to. So date uncertain, but not in the middle of the day, so the kids will be able to have access to bathrooms. Kind of nice. The only other thing that I have for right now is There's a building, an apartment building at the corner of Connecticut and Jennifer, and we've talked about it before, 5301. And I was made aware that a company that subcontracts to the Department of Behavioral Health is doing outreach at various buildings on Connecticut Avenue, including that building at 5301. So residents there will have access to enhanced services, and I'm very, very glad to hear about that. And I had a long chat with some of the staff at Community Connections, and we'll be talking further. And I hope to be able to bring you more information on what that project can offer other buildings if they need it.
Thank you, Commissioner Nagy. All right, well, it is now 8:28. I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I just wanted to